Ebusa finally, Abrewa Impuma Kwame Nana Kwame Bediako cheddar wa file for nomination as a presidential aspirant and as a presidential candidate 2024. That is abatwa eda yenim Ghana no. Na okoye no oni easy maame no tenase Jane Mensa. Nkomo bebre na ene course so anobaba e bebre na ne course bia no de ni na ebre wo fie ha ba wonim subscribe to the channel no what you say go for bebre na de kasa say wan hwa umbetime use elimination by rough tactics bi no mo de yi na firi ho emra ne de ewom ne de ewom bia no Jane Mensa editor no anim clauses bi ewom a eye if clause bia no nanso bi ewom bia so o ma ne ye clear e wo ho no mo a ye behwe ne edi ni nyina ho enkomo e wo fie ha mesra wo subscribe to the channel no wo wi anu like video no very necessary ankasa aha dynamic tv plus we whatsapp today ene dynamic midi nana yaw dynamic
is about to go now.
Afi yen shase on say Nana Kwame Bediako cheddar ebe press conference bi can say ever since o put in a request and I say o file say o pese or register new force no as a political party or so atwene direct I say isi no ni di agro bia na ni nhye da anye ho but ohwen so I say omo ya ye last minute into one by the time na ni be ba ne ho so no na wan hwa ono a political party na ebia ontumi nya ono so ana ne time so aso a ontumi nyina e ma ye nto ne so aba eno nti in that press conference no o making it known say we making a tough decision say afedie obeko as an independent candidate emu ye tough na so be any day that is the only way a obetumi de akọ emom o kire ama ye tiase say oko as independent no doesn't mean say ni vision and as any aim say that chibia no new force will be a political party no obeto atwene baby there be for now no dey a movement but obi make sure say even after the 2024 election no obeko so say registration no betumi akọ through e wom say a delay no person mo delay no rough tactics but after say election we twam a registration no obehwe say bibia ebetumi akọ through na agyaabo nya bedu e say campaign no enye campaign keke oto aso a say watumi a progress e ma wa file for the nomination no easy ebie to ho 5 days na eno no ena Nana Kwame Bediako akọ file ne de na okoye no enkomo bebre ene course o de ni nomination form ekomo amami Jane Mensa na okoye no easy ema na kwaba na omode emra nkaye no eto nanim kire ne say de aye ne de o say 4 copies of the nomination form no utumi assign ni nyina uwie nso a e say utumi enya a vice president what I say so utumi yi obi a obey your vice president ni nyina eka ho nti okan ni nyina bomfua e to cheddar anim.
On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome you all to the Commission this morning. We are gathered here to kickstart one of the most important processes in the lead-up to the December 2024 general election. Indeed, without this process, the Commission cannot run the election. And here, I'm referring to the filing of nominations by presidential candidates who are seeking to contest the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Regulation 7 of CI 127 enjoins a presidential candidate to complete and sign 4 copies of the nomination forms. Additionally, the forms are to be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. The presidential candidate is also required to designate a person to serve as his or her vice presidential candidate. Furthermore, the presidential candidate is required to deliver the forms to the Commission on the date prescribed by the Commission.
So, that is Mami Jane Mensa. And this is it. Unse utie ya, first one ne de, yemfa say cheddar be do ho ne de, then it means say vice presidency ne de done and dusted. Meaning say we you be a obey vice president ne dada. Candidate no done and dusted. So that header no yatra. And then all the 4 copies are eno no nomination form ne copies no wabedu ho no nko ade done and dusted ankasa. And also baby na din pa na say ubetimi anya or say signed by this the nomination form no has to be signed by 2 persons in the area of authority in each of the district assemblies. Ahana na ya na din say district assemblies ni nyina no betimi anya nkofo mienu, not just nkofo mienu but nkofo mienu omo positions of power. Our district assembly ni mu no ubenya nkofo mienu each. Ho na ya na mafia tactics ni wom. But what be do on it, it means genuinely that hurdle is also passed. So yeah, you can see the progress. That is good. It is good and kasa. It is showing say bibia kama. Now, area actually no. Afei ekokosi say e was say wa be pick form no o submit it to the EC, and that is the first phase of the whole conversation no. Enti no what be do ho nko ade na che say obe submit it Ediama the EC no. And so the first phase in the agbena everything is intact. So if we are just using this as a barometer there, and what be do honey there, that means near wo muni no and shed and fire hosa. We know say what be do honey there, we be fine. So the nomination no, it is going through. Now, EC maame no edito cheddar nim say uwie ho na ewie wo de wo nomination form na ba no. Afei ena EC team no omo team mienu. First team no omo ye technical team. Ena omo IT team. What you say? Aha. Enti o say afei na technical team no eba be make sure say omba be hwe. Say nipa na oba be context no, in this case cheddar or 40 years and above. That is onye below the age of 40. Uye so almost have be say was satisfy all the tax obligations and na meaning say o minor woman no ne dwuma owo anase ne nyuma odi no otuatua ne taxes otua to what you say eto no otua ma ban so di to no e de to no di oman no ho bra was eto de ye eto ne di yakwan eto ne de ye neoma what you say nti wudie ye tua to na ban na di to na de to no aye ne ama ye. So in this case no also mo check say nipa no otua ne to e ma eto no edi mu angasa. If you want so almost say technical team no ebesan ahwe say nipa na oye candidate no, in this case cheddar or vice president, that is where you be a obehwe say or no and obeye ne deputy. So what I say aha in the running mates, yes. So eno na ye dia technical team ne behwe na mu wi a na omo IT team no aba behwe say omo ID cards a omo wo. So leader no, which is the flag bearer no, that is cheddar, any ne team ni nyina no omo nyina e wo valid voters idea omo to aba e wo man ni mu. So if that is all through there, then it means there is a green light and also no you betumi e de ama cheddar on that note no. Enti ya no so yenti senia Jane Mensa e kan 75.
Ladies and gentlemen, as in 2020, the Commission has established 2 teams which have been tasked to review all the forms submitted. The technical team has been tasked to scrutinize the forms submitted to ensure that the candidate meets the requirements as set out by law, namely, that the presidential candidate is at least 40 years of age, and I hope you are, yes, that he or she has satisfied all tax obligations, that he or she has nominated a vice presidential candidate, amongst others. The second team, namely the IT team, has been charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all voter ID cards of the presidential candidates and their supporters to ensure that the candidates are indeed registered voters. Both teams have been provided adequate training and have been oriented to carry out their functions as prescribed by law. The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter. Above all, they've been tasked to be fair and yet firm in executing their duties. We have no doubt that the process will be transparent, fair, and peaceful.
Yeah, so that is each EC chair. And all kinds of so just as I said, it is exactly what I also what can so no. So it means up to now, we have a fair idea. Say one train for a political party. Now what call for independent just say tough when it comes to the team no any how ananka or corner as a political party how anke be kono e bi anke be a little bit easier as in say or as independent candidates. But then it is good to just try any alternative. At least you appear on the ballot, and that is also a good step. I feel say Nana Kwame Bediako what take it. Now, Jane Mensah signed to just say this time around, no, on my had even on my BMB because first, generally I had 3 days and on the BA looking at 2020, 3 days and on the 2 was say. All the candidates no be filing in nomination, and they looked at it and we on there are some few challenges here and there. I was saying be omutumi assign kono mo address na time no na e biti omo until this time around there o my 5 days and they feel say 5 days no e betumi aboa e ma obia atumi ade ne niama atoto ba bi eda until o chere na Kwame Bediako say even if omaje ade no kura na omaje ne form no say bibia ni a obeti omunka.
Additionally, we are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2 days provided prior to 2020, will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct any errors identified in their forms. We are confident that this would help to eliminate the tensions and rancor that characterized nomination processes prior to the 2020 election. I welcome you warmly to the Electoral Commission once again, and thank you for personally coming to submit your nomination forms this morning. As the returning officer for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election, I will now receive your forms. Your forms will be subjected to vetting and scrutiny by our teams. I'd like to assure you that our teams will go to work immediately on your forms and will contact you within the shortest possible time to inform you of the decision arrived at. I'd like to thank you for your time, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong.
Yes, so that is it. Now, one point that I took, or one thing that I noticed was that I said it will be subjected to vetting and scrutiny. So that means what they are bad there, but I feel ye be hwehwem ti hano and let say empire na we say mu ye den de kire say in Ghana everything is possible. What I say elimination by rough tactics near to me but if we are supposed to be judging based on the whole thing mama no area to join chairperson area to join there, then it means having a vice president, having 2 people from various district assembly omo ebe sign and omo endorse whole nomination form no ni ade ne de, then anka we are good to go. And I say anka new force is true and anka cheddar is true, but then again Ghana any one na owie ye de ni bibia etu dwa no e na cheddar eje mic no e na o kire se na ni so de Jane Mensah ayama no na I say amana hotoso bi say democracy is still existing. I would say it's a diplomatic talk though, because it's the same issue, and now up till now, to me, and share my new force, MA political party. So it is the same issue, the same chairperson, the same person now, but yeah, it's a diplomatic talk. So or chair say in any so who said democracy no or Ghana na enya den Ghana for na be build Ghana by Ghanaians. Ghana a bit to me or you're very proud to be a Ghanaian.
I want to say that democracy works in this country, and we appreciate that very much. That for us to have the right to be a part of our national governance gives us hope for this future can be built, not by foreigners, but by citizens of this country. And that alone gives me hope to be a Ghanaian. I'm proud to be one. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank you, Jane Mensah. This job is not just for women, but you have proven yourself that you're a woman with strength to lead a nation. For us to go through this moment, this election is a tough one. It's a lot of tension, and I pray that God gives you the strength, the willpower, and the great knowledge and wisdom to be able to help your country to go through this moment. And let there be peace, let there be love, let there be understanding, and let us build our country together. Thank you.
Yeah, so that is the leader of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako. Cheddar. And all kind of audience maybe na to jawa that Jane Sase amani more piafo e woni dwuma odi as oba as a woman in Ghana, you know, only this current election and 2024 election is one of the let's say it is deemed to be one of the toughest as far as elections is concerned. What I say, because you know NPP, NDC, and even the new people involved, you know, Charlie, the way they are shaking the grounds, you know, it is very tough when it comes to if you are a referee, as a El Clasico, now you're a referee, no, we are very tough. Until Dana say, Emma more piafo, e would you maswa odi. Let me know what you think. I think, say, at this level, when being, I don't think anything, be anywhere, being an independent candidate, no, you're disqualified, no. I don't think so. But my mean, they are also doing what I say, Ghana we day. But I'm very hopeful and optimistic, say. Definitely, we are going to see him on the ballot paper. Though it is not going to be on the name or in the ticket of New Force, but it is still good, what I say, because he's selling himself. And so, him being there, no, I think that is all that matters. Not necessarily the new force. Yes, it's a movement. And the same people who are in the movement, you know, are the same people who are going to promote if say occur as an independent candidate. But me would have in your comment section and say, aha. Dynamic TV Plus, meeting Edenanaya Dynamic. I'll see you when I see you again. Bye.
Blessings, blessings, blessings. A kinky, reggae. The love with key and core respect. 2024 and beyond. Heat. I wish you for Dynamic TV Plus. Subscribe. Name me a notification bell on the so. Name me a all. Send me a drop level biana. Obe catch it. Dynamic TV Plus. Heat.